Namaskar. Today we're going to discuss one warm-up that many people have contacted me and asked me about and asked me to demonstrate this particular one. It's called by three different names: pelvic circles, trunk circles, and it's a form of abdominal rolling. Now, different styles, they call things different names, especially when it comes over and it's in English. But this particular technique you can see in Hatha Yoga and all the sub-styles, and you see it in Kundalini as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to move around, and what I'll do is I'll talk at the same time. The depth of the circle depends upon the practitioner. So when they work it, some of your students might not be able to go as deep as others. And also, this technique can be done in a chair. So a lot of times we talk about chair yoga. The chair yoga students I have, the average age is about 75 in the classes. So I have some people in their 90s, some people in their 60s, some people in their mid-50s. So I would say the median age is about 75 years old in those chair classes. And I'm going to reverse it again. So we're going to reverse. Now, the depth, again, depends on what you do on each side. So there is really, because it's a circle, there's a counter to every degree you work. So for example, when we think of forward bends, we also think of backward bends to counter that particular movement. Now this particular movement that we've been doing together, it's good for, we'll stop right there for a second. It's good for lower back problems. So, and it's one of those things where you have to test it out and see if it's really good for your lower back, because you're going to be different than everyone else. So where are we talking about? We're talking about sacrum, SI joints, lumbar region, those types of things. But also, it's good for working a massage around the internal organs. And when you start to think about it, it's massaging all the internal organs. So when we start to work the depth of the circle around, the more deeply we work it, and I don't want anyone to start getting into the idea of forcing the movement. The more deeply we work this movement, the more somebody's going to be able to massage more organs. At the same time, we don't want to get any force involved, and you want to make sure you can breathe. Now, I'm going to do a few more revolutions, and I'm going to discuss the pranayama, or the breathing that you could do with this. And if we think in terms of 1-to-1 ratio, it makes it quite easy. It's either a half circle around, inhale, and then exhale on the back half of the circle. Okay? So I'm going to counter that and go the other way. A half inhale here, and then exhale on the back edge. If you think you can breathe deeper, then we could go big inhale all the way around, back to center, and then reverse, exhaling right there. If we want to work a 2-to-1 ratio on two parts for the 2 parts exhale for the 1 part inhale, we've got an inhale of half. So I inhale half, I pause, and then I exhale, and then come all the way back up. So there's a lot of things you could play with as far as this one goes. You've got the reverse flow as well. And some people take as long as 20 minutes, 21 minutes. I've heard of people taking 21 minutes a day out for this particular warm-up. I don't really refer to this as an asana, because the emphasis here really is on warming up a lot of parts of our body all at once. It's funny, you can do a lot of different warm-ups and still be cold down into the sacrum and down into the lumbar region, say the L5, L4 area. So it's something to consider when you practice any warm-up. What is the most efficient warm-up? Is this the only warm-up we would do? Of course not. There are many of them to do. I myself have never done this particular technique for 21 minutes, but I would say it's worth it. One thing to mention: if you have severe arthritis in the lower spine, I'd probably go extremely slow, see how it goes with pain. If there's any pain, then you got to back off. It's one of those things where we're all different, so you have to honor your own body. With that said, I want to wish all of you a nice week. Om Shanti.